this is War Master Johnny, and welcome back to the Kings of War channel. Today we're going to continue in our How to Play series for Kings of War. We already have our setup and deployment video that you can go check out. I'll put that video in the description, the link to it. Today we're going to talk about your basic movement. Now there's three things that make up your turn. There is movement, there is shooting, and then there is melee combat. So, we're going to start off with movement, and there's a bunch of different parts to this. There are 7 things that you can do when you when you get into the movement phase. There is halt, in which your unit goes nowhere. You might wonder, why would you want to do that? If you have some shooting units, if they move, they will suffer a -1 penalty. So to make them halt, they won't suffer that penalty. So you have halt. You have advance, which is just moving forward with your speed. And you can do 1 pivot up to 90 degrees there. Then you have at the double. That is where you move at double your speed, straight forward only. You have change facing, in which your unit can turn any direction in the 360 degree circle. So just instead of moving anywhere, you can turn any direction and face whatever you want. You have sidestep, which is half of your speed to the right or to the left. You also have back. You can move back half of your speed. And finally, probably the best part of the movement phase, which is charge. There you can move up to double your speed. If another unit is within double your speed, you can do a charge. You can also pivot 2 times during the course of a charge. So if there's terrain pieces or other units, you can move up, pivot, move, pivot, and then finish out your charge.
Hey guys, this is Aaron, and I'm going to show you how to properly move your units.
Okay, so if this unit wasn't to move anywhere, that would be considered a halt move. Next, we're going to have Aaron advance.
Because their speed is 4, I'll move up forward.
Notice how he doesn't move past the end of the tape measure there. And during an advance, you can pivot 1 time up to 90 degrees. Either that way or the other direction. Okay, next we're going to have him sidestep, which is half of your movement to the right or to the left. And that is straight to the right or the left. You can't do any pivoting or anything. We're going to have you move back, which is, again, straight back and half of your speed. Now we're going to have the unit change facing. And in this case, they can move anywhere in a 360 degree radius. So he can move 90 degrees, he can move 180 degrees, all the way up to 360 degree circle. Perfect. Next, we're going to have them move at the double. And this is double their movement speed in a straight line only. And go ahead and you can at the double. Straight forward. Perfect. And now we're going to show a charge. First, Aaron is going to measure whether he can reach them with a double move, or at the double.
Perfect.
So they're within his at the double, which is 8. And you can go ahead and charge them. And charging moves all the way directly up to them, just like that. Okay, guys. Now we're going to look at an advanced charge. And we're also going to talk about unit interpenetration. Now I have to stay 1 inch away from all friendly and enemy units according to the book. However, in a charge you can pivot 2 times. Now in order to get to the ogres, I would have to pivot here. And since these are a friendly unit, I can go through them as long as I stay 1 inch away. So if I'm in the proper positioning here, I would pivot staying 1 inch away. So there's the first pivot. I would move over 3 inches to right there. I would do pivot number 2 right there, and then I would complete my charge up to there. So I have used a total of, let's see, for 7 inches to get to them. That left me 1 inch remaining. So that's how you do an advanced charge, interpenetrating a friendly unit and charging the ogres. Okay guys, a little bit more detail about the charge, which is pretty important. Right here in the center of your unit, this is your unit's leader. Now they say in the book to make your unit's leader a little bit more imposing than the other models around it. We haven't done that yet. Right now we just have this going on. We're going to do some detailing of our units coming up here within the next couple weeks. But if the unit leader, this is what it's all based on. If the unit leader can see the enemy unit, that's how you make most of your decisions in this game. Whether there's cover, whether they can charge, all of that good stuff is based on your unit's leader right there. So, how do we know if we can charge them? Well, besides what we've talked about, each unit has an arc. And the arc comes directly out from the corners, just like that. So there's that, and then over here it would come out over here. And basically, this is your front arc. And I could charge anyone in there. Now, you have to take the shortest route possible when doing a charge. So, this is for an enemy, this is the flank, and this is the rear. When you attack from the flank, you double your attacks. And when you attack from the rear, you triple your attacks. Now, some people would like to automatically go here. But you can't do that. You have to take the shortest distance going around friendly units or around terrain. You have to go basically to the front. Unless if you are already up here and you can pivot and then move in for a charge from the flank. But let's say we now have the ogres, and let's say we have 2 units right here. Since this is in the front arc for both of these units, they would both have to charge the front of the ogres. Well, how do we do this? Well, obviously, they both make sure that they can charge, which they can in this case. And what you do is you move up and put both units about halfway through. You want to come around here? So this is what it looks like when 2 units charge the front facing of an enemy unit. Okay, let's go to advanced charging part 2. Well, let's say that these guys have charged the ogres, and I didn't want these guys to charge the front facing. Well, how do you get to the flank without being up here? Well, if I was in this case, unfortunately, I would have to sacrifice an entire turn in order to do it. Now, keep in mind, you have to stay an inch away from both of these guys, but what I could do is move, let's say, let's just put them up here right now. What I could do is move up. They can move 4. So let's say they would go to right there, and then they would pivot, making this side in their front arc. Now I can't do anything else with them for this round. However, next turn, I could charge them. Okay guys, let's look at some advanced movement. Here we have an obstacle, which is, in this case, a stone wall. Now, you can use these for many different things on your battlefield. I can get over the wall, and the book says that you can even stop halfway over the wall, which I would imagine some people are on this side and some people are on that side. However, you cannot at the double and cross the wall. So if I was here and I wanted to move at the double, I would have to stop here. If I was here, I could make a regular movement and cross this wall. Okay guys, let's talk about difficult terrain. And you can find out more different styles of difficult terrain by reading the book and doing a little internet research. In this case, let's say that this is a muddy field. With difficult terrain, every inch of your movement counts as 2 inches. So let's say I want to move at the double and here, and my movement at the double is 8. Well, in this case, I would only be able to move 4 because it's such a muddy field. Okay, considering this is difficult terrain, as we said in the last piece, for charges it's a little bit different. Now, let's say I want to charge the ogres here. My at the double is 8, so I could definitely get to them. And in this case, the difficult terrain doesn't slow my movement down, but what it does is gives me a -1 on my attack. So, in this case, I could charge them at full speed and get up to here, but when the melee occurs, I'm fighting at -1s. Okay guys, let's look at another advanced charge. In this case, we're using the obstacle from before, and let's say that the ogres are directly on this side of it. Well, I would like to charge them. So you can still charge them even though there's an obstacle here. I'm within charging range, which is 8. So I would move up to here, just like that, and when the melee occurs, we are both fighting at -1 because there's a wall in between us.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be making more how to play videos in the future, so please like and subscribe.